Okay, this is a video of the Aguirre Springs climb that I did on November 3rd. Did this ride with a friend of mine, Guillermo Hidalgo. He has never done this ride before. I've done it 5 or 6 times before. This is the descent from St. Augustine Pass. St. Augustine Pass is at elevation 5,600 roughly. The descent is about 2.5 miles, takes about 5 minutes. We've got a little bit of a head crosswind here today, but still able to rock along pretty good on this 4%, 2 to 4% gradient, down gradient. So like I say, we've been descending for about 5 minutes, but things are fixing to change. I mean, we're headed toward those mountains. We're on the back side. This is on the east side of the Oregon mountains. Those are the Oregons there in front of me, and so you can see we're still rocking along, almost 30 here, but things are going to change, and they change rather rapidly out here. And they change in a very deceiving manner. You don't see the gradient increasing the way you think you would. It goes from nothing to stupid steep really quick. So, here I'm at a 7% gradient. It's fixing to get a lot worse. Luckily, the first couple of climbs that you have at the foothills aren't that long. They're really steep, they're really hard, but they're not that long. They're just long enough to get you into your anaerobic state and really work your legs, especially after that long descent. I'm struggling here. I'm trying to keep the cadence up. I'm running a 5339 chainring with a 1130 cassette, so spinning up hills isn't an option for me.
15% right there. Okay. Three of those little kickers right there.
So here I'm telling Guillermo what to expect on the next couple of hills. And here's what's fun about this lead in to the major climb is that you have the little short kickers, and then you've got a little downhill run. So you get your anaerobic state going, and you get to recover, and you hit deep anaerobic again, and you get to recover, and then you get to climb for quite a while. So here we're rocking along. Like I say, you've got a great run. I really enjoy this stretch of road, even though there's a lot of suffering involved. This is just one of my favorite fast stretches. You got to work for it, and then you get to enjoy it. Work, enjoy. Oddly enough, today, or on this day we did this ride, we didn't encounter any cars. It's a great road. The climb is one way going up the mountain. The descent is one-way road, so that's really nice. But yeah, we didn't have any cars. So again, you go from -7 to plus stupid really fast. The first couple of times I did this ride, I didn't control my power on these first climbs, and then by the time you hit the steep long climb, you have nothing. So I've learned, put enough effort in to get to the top of these without losing a lot of time, and that way you don't die on the long climb. So this one isn't so bad. It's 8-10%. a little longer than the other one. So it's kind of like a nice little introduction to the nasty climb. Get a short, hard climb, then a little bit less hard but slightly longer climb. But then the fun goes away. The mountain in front of me there is called Rabbit Ears, and you can probably figure out why. As I get further up, closer to it, it becomes a little more prominent. So yeah, this stretch right here is just long enough to really make you struggle. Really get your heart rate going. And then it gets steep. I was looking back to see where Aguirre was. He's behind me. Okay, so again, hard effort, then it flattens out, actually drops a little ways before the fun starts. As much as I like doing this part, I don't know that I'd want to do a long ride of the short climbs and descent, short climb and descent. I kind of like settling into a climbing effort and climbing rhythm and just going. But this one little stretch right here, this is where it gets really nasty, stupid, steep. And the funny thing is, it doesn't look like an 18% gradient because everything around it is 18%. And this whole climb is that way. It's very deceiving. You'll be on an area that you think you should be able to recover on. You think it's 3 or 4%, and it's 8%. But having done this climb several times before, I know now not to look around, just to keep the power on. So here's where the road splits, goes to one direction, and this is the start of the climb. And this is where my objective of the day was. I wanted to do a sub 15-minute climb. Was really thinking 14 was possible. 14-minute climb out here is really hard. There's been guys that do this, the 14-minute climb, and these guys are really fast, very strong racers. So 14 may have been a stretch for me. 15 I thought was achievable. But right about here, I'm thinking, do I really want to hurt and do this? Do I really want to make this happen today? And almost said, no, let's just cruise and just get to the top. It's okay. But I said, no, I didn't come here to do that. I came here to give it my best effort, to give it my maximum that I can, and I'm going to do it. So here we are, about halfway up the climb. This has been a while. Been climbing for since the very first hill, we're probably at about 12 minutes here, but on the segment I'm only about 8 minutes in. But then this little stretch is just so wonderful because you've been struggling, and all of a sudden you get a little break. And this is so wonderful. And here I can also look off to the left and see if I can see Guillermo, and he's down quite a bit below me. So he's not going to catch me unless I just blow up. And like I say, you get to enjoy that little respite there, and then you're back to the grind. Bet you got a real good look at rabbit ears there. So continuing on, and this is where you come off that little downhill stretch there, that little break, and you're in the second half of the climb. This stretch usually is the one that demoralizes me. This ride, I didn't let it happen. I kept a positive attitude, and I said, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to climb this. You're not going to defeat me this time. This little stretch is hard. Got some 12, 13% there. But not giving in. Not today. And it's kind of funny, as you get closer to the top, you get more of the 4 and 5% gradient and less of the 9 to 12. There's still some 9 to 12, but not as much. So again, another good outlook here where I can see what's coming up behind me. We had quite a bit of wind on the mountain today, and that little stretch I just finished there, that actually had a tailwind. So every time I had one of those, I guess it was kind of a south facing or east, southeast facing stretch, I was able to take a little advantage of a tailwind. I think it took my speed from 7 miles an hour to 8. Anyways, like I say, you can see we're starting to get a little bit flatter, 6-7% versus 9-10. And I know that I'm getting close. Got to be close to the end here. I'm in the last quarter of this climb. Maybe the last, eighth of it. Here's one of the last little hard stretches. Right here, I'm just really, I'm on the edge, but I'll be damned if I'm giving up. And so I just kept pushing. I was trying to keep the cadence above 55, targeting 60, just keeping the power on. Trying to keep my breathing under control. I know it doesn't sound like my breathing's under control, but it is. Okay, the park entrance sign. Now we know we're getting close. Now we know. Still got a ways to go, still some hard parts. But start to smell the barn, as the horses do. Slick rock boulders, and now you're getting close. Now I know. Yeah, it's time to go. Last bit right ahead of me. First little campsite or picnic shelter. Now you know. Now you can speed up a little bit. There's one little kicker left. kicker. And I beat my previous best time on the climb by a little over 2 minutes. Did the climb in 16 minutes. So I'm happy with that. Okay, so here we are starting the descent. This is a really tricky descent. I pretty well got the turns not memorized, but they don't surprise me anymore. If you really wanted to attack this, you could go really, really fast. You can also mess up really bad, and it doesn't take much. The road is not always in good condition. There's oftentimes missing pieces. So you never know what you're going to find. So you don't just go all out. Guillermo's going to follow me not very closely because he's never done this before. And neither one of us wants to die or get hurt. So enjoy the downhill. Cattle guard, stay left. This is the one they call clavicle corner. You can really mess up if you couldn't take too much speed in it. It'll slide out from under you. It's beautiful scenery out there. The scenery on the climb is amazing. You just never get to look at it because you're so busy just focused on the road around you. At least I am. So. The only time I really get to see the scenery is when I'm watching the videos. So, remember those little steep, punchy climbs that we had to go through at the base? Well, all good things must come to an end, and here's one of the steep, punchy climbs. And look how rapidly the gradient will change. And you just don't see it happening. But I'm pulling off here. I'm going to wait for Guillermo to catch up. And then we have to climb to get back out. So that's my recap of the Aguirre climb for November 3rd, 2018. Hope you enjoyed. Bye.